You guys remember Jack Dorsey, right? The guy who co-founded and used to be the CEO of Twitter. Well, it seems like he had a moment of clarity a few days ago where he seemed to realize all of a sudden that the centralized social media dystopia that we are currently living in is actually a bad thing. We can see what he says right here. The days of Usenet, IRC, the web, even mail with PGP were amazing. Centralizing discovery and identity into corporations really damaged the internet. And I realize I'm partially to blame and regret it. It's funny how he realizes this and has these regrets after he is no longer the CEO of the company. It's like a deathbed confession. Oh, now that I'm not going to suffer any major financial consequences, I will admit that my social media platform is a giant steaming pile of crap. But you know what? Sometimes giant steaming piles of crap are actually desirable. I mean, flies really seem to enjoy them, so do worms, and so does the world's richest African American, Elon Musk. It was recently revealed that he has become the largest single shareholder of Twitter with a 9.2% stake in the company that's valued at more than $3 billion. Now, I will point out that this isn't necessarily ownership of Twitter. Okay, Elon Musk doesn't own Twitter per se, but he is the largest shareholder and he is now on the board of directors for Twitter. With giant companies like Twitter, I think it's a pretty good analogy to describe them like a big cruise ship. Okay, so the board of directors, you can think of each of them as making up a captain. So it's kind of like a captain that's got a whole bunch of different arms, or maybe it's multiple captains that are fighting for control of the wheel. And each of them are trying to turn it in a certain direction. Some of them want to go in different directions, but Elon's hands that are on this wheel are the strongest. It's like everybody else is doing mixed grip deadlifts, but big man Musk over here, he's doing overhand grip on all of his sets. So what does this mean for Twitter? Is Elon Musk going to make Twitter great again?
I doubt it.
Yeah, it seems like most people are coming up with the idea that Elon Musk is going to be the savior of Twitter from, well, his tweets. We've got this one in particular that says, "Free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Do you believe that Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle?" And he even attached a poll to it where he asked people to vote and tell him what they think about Twitter. Is it a free speech platform or not? And over 2 million people voted, with 70% agreeing that no, it is not. And there's also this tweet from earlier in March where he was talking about how several different governments wanted him to block Russian news sources on Starlink. Now, you might remember that Starlink sent out a bunch of their satellites to Ukraine, or rather the boxes that connect to the satellites to Ukraine and other areas that were without internet as a result of the Russian invasion. And Elon says that Starlink is not going to block Russian news sources because he's a free speech absolutist, okay? Which means that he doesn't believe in blocking this so-called harmful Russian news source, right? He believes in free speech no matter what. He doesn't believe that censorship of things like so-called hate speech. He doesn't believe in this bullcrap that people seem to have cooked up over the past couple of years called harmful misinformation. Elon supposedly doesn't care. He should be fine with speech that Twitter is currently hostile towards, like Joe Rogan talking about his horse medicine, or people who really enjoy German culture, specifically the culture it had during the early 1940s, or people who really like to talk about the rules that are in the book of Leviticus, specifically chapter 20, verse 13, as they enjoy a meal of bacon-wrapped shrimp and wipe their clean-shaven faces with a mixed fabric bib. All of these things are probably going to be protected speech in Elon's eyes. But you know what isn't? Speech that is criticizing him and his companies. So you might not know about this guy, John Bernal. He used to work for Tesla's autopilot division, and he also owns a Tesla with the full self-driving capabilities software that you purchase after the fact, by the way. Pretty important to point that out because when you buy a Tesla, you don't get all of the features. There's little software upgrades that you have to purchase after the fact. But anyway, this guy has a YouTube channel called AI Addict, in which he shows off the self-driving capabilities of his Tesla, and he talks about some of the pros and cons, right? I mean, like I said, he's one of the few people who have a Tesla and have actually gone and purchased this full self-driving technology. And I think that there might also be like some kind of program that you have to sign up for, because all of this stuff is in beta. I mean, you could see right here, Tesla FSB beta. So it's not something that everybody out there on the road is running around with. But yeah, he tests it out and he talks about the pros and cons. Now, there are a few very important details about this guy and him getting fired and just this whole situation that you should know, because I'm sure that there are some people out there who like to simp for Elon that might try to say that John was fired for some more legitimate reason, like sharing company secrets, maybe revealing versions of the software that haven't been released yet. Or some people might try to say that he was making videos on company time, or that he was using company property in order to make these videos without getting the authorization from Tesla. But all of that is false, okay? John made and he continues to make these videos on his own time with his own Tesla that he purchased with his own money. And same goes for that additional self-driving car software. Maybe if I had to guess, maybe he got some kind of employee discount, but that doesn't even matter because once he purchases it, it is his property and Tesla has no right to tell him what he is able to do with his property in his own time. All of the videos that he is making on his channel are made as a private citizen and not a Tesla employee. So if I had to guess the real reason why Tesla fired him, it's because the videos that he make are very transparent. They're very open and very honest. He doesn't just show the positive parts of FSD, he shows the negatives too. And if you actually check out his YouTube channel, which I'm going to link in the description of this video, we can see that his most popular videos are actually ones in which the Tesla is crashing, like this one, Tesla full self-driving crash. Then there's another one here where it talks about a close call. Then there's this one. Well, this one doesn't necessarily seem to be a crash. This one here, where he's doing a collision analysis. So most of these top, most popular videos are when it's crashing. And this isn't because he markets it anymore. Honestly, that's just the YouTube algorithm, okay? If something bad is going to happen, like a self-driving crash, obviously that's going to have a lot of views on it, okay? Look up NASCAR videos. The videos that get the most views are when there is a crash, right? I mean, it's kind of morbid, but that is the most, I guess, interesting part of the sport for a lot of people. Now, even though some of these videos will make Tesla look a little bit bad and certainly the self-driving technology look bad, it's not like he's making these to make Tesla look bad on purpose, okay? Like, you can watch these videos for yourself. Most of them are pretty much just dash cam footage, okay? So it's not like he's going out of his way to ruin the reputation of Tesla. In fact, if anything, this makes Tesla's reputation look really bad when you contrast it to the things that Elon Musk himself says about these cars and the self-driving technology. Okay, when you hear him speak about it, every year he says something like, oh, we're just a couple of years away from fully working self-driving technology. Nobody's going to have to go get a driver's license again because it's going to be all driverless cars.
We think people do not need to touch the wheel, look out of the window. Sometime probably around, second quarter of next year. We expect to be feature complete in self-driving this year. And when I say feature complete, I mean it'll work in downtown San Francisco and downtown Manhattan this year.
But of course, this is not true. Okay, the technology is very far off from being perfect and fully safe, and this isn't just the case with Tesla's self-driving cars. Elon Musk is the embodiment of the phrase, overpromise and underdeliver. And it shows throughout all of his business ventures, from SpaceX to Starlink, and even in his crypto ventures. My policy with people who make extraordinary claims, which I especially apply to Elon Musk, is I will believe it when I see it. And based off of what I saw happen with John, my gut tells me that Elon wants to add another rule to Twitter's terms of service: thou shalt not blaspheme against Tesla or any companies in which Elon is the biggest shareholder. And you know, even if Elon really does want to make Twitter great again, he's really got his work cut out for him. Okay, Twitter isn't just bad because the executives at Twitter make it bad. Most of the people that are on this platform don't want it to be a free speech platform. They like how restrictive Twitter is because it is for their benefit. So it's going to be pretty difficult for him to drain the swamp that is Twitter when the majority of people that are still using it are swamp creatures themselves. And speaking of swamps, if you want to watch my videos without swimming through the swamp of YouTube, I also post all of my videos on Odyssey, as well as exclusive videos that are just too good to be posted to YouTube. But before you leave here, leave a like and comment on this video to hack the algorithm, and have a great rest of your day.